Hello, everybody. Today we're going to work on articles. Articles are pretty important and they're also very difficult. So let's see what we can do. Just so you know, my sheet that I made of articles has 5 pages. The first page is kind of simple articles. The second page is more complicated articles. And then pages 3 through 5 is just a Japanese translation. Okay? So at the end of the lesson, you can screenshot those last 3 pages if you want it in Japanese. Okay, let's get started. Articles. The first major article is a or a. So it's used to mean any when there are more than one or when the noun is unspecific. I wish I had a car. Help, I broke my arm and I need a doctor. Okay, so I wish I had a car. Any car is okay. It doesn't matter which car, I want a car. Any car means any. I broke my arm and I need a doctor. Any doctor. Of course, not like a animal doctor. Any doctor that can help me. Just one. Okay? Or, like it says right here, used to mean one. So also means one. Do you want a can of Keating beer? A can. One can. Can I have $100? Is the same as one. $100. That's pretty easy. Next is an. Okay? It has the same meaning as but it is used before words, nouns, or adjectives that start with a vowel sound. A vowel is A, E, I, O, U. Okay? It's the vowel sound. I know sometimes we say Y is a vowel in English, but Y does not have a vowel sound unless it has the E sound. Okay? So here are some examples. Can I have an orange? An orange. Okay? And because this is O sound. Now, when we say an orange, we put these together. So this N matches this O. And no, and no, and orange. I'll be there in an hour. So this is an H, but the sound is ow. And now, an hour. Not an hour, an hour, an hour. Okay? If you can practice this, it'll be very good for your English. I am an amazing guy. True. So, an amazing, an amazing guy. I put this here because amazing is not the noun, it's an adjective. So, even though guy is a G, of course, this word is before the an, and it's an adjective, so it's an amazing guy. I'm a university student. So this is you, but the sound is not oo. The sound is you with a Y sound. So it's a. I'm a university student. Okay? All right. Next is the. Now, the has many. It is used with nouns that are one of a kind or special. I hate the sun. I love the sun, honestly, but, some people don't like the heat. I like the sun. The because there's only one sun. There are many stars, but there's only one sun. It is too hot. I'll have the New York steak dinner. In this case, this is a special dinner at a restaurant, so it is special. So, the New York steak dinner. Sometimes at restaurants, you'll say, I'll have the fish, the steak. We say that because kind of it's special for that restaurant, usually. Not all the time, but sometimes. So you want to visit maybe the Grand Canyon. There's only one Grand Canyon, so the Grand Canyon. So if there's only one in the world, it is the, like the sun. Well, the sun's not in the world. Anyway, it is also used with nouns that are specific. Now here, they are unspecific or any. For the, they are specific. Can you wear the shirt with Hawaiian pineapples on it? If you say, can you wear a shirt? That's any shirt. Can you wear the shirt? Only people don't understand. Which shirt? And if you say with the Hawaiian pineapples on it, we know which shirt. It's a special or a specific shirt. Finally, used with nouns that have been mentioned earlier. For example, I bought a car today. I'm happy because the car only cost $100. So at first we say a car because the listener doesn't know about which car. In the second sentence, we know this car is here. So I'm happy because the car only cost $100. It's the same car. At first, not specific, then becomes specific. So it says right here, why? By the second time, both people are talking about a specific car. The one that was talked about earlier. The unspecific noun becomes specific. Okay? Hopefully you understand. Next, no article, no an in the. So, used with uncountable nouns that are unspecific. For example, I need water. You don't say, I need a water. You can, but I will explain in the more advanced rules. I love to wear cotton. Let's get ice cream. Now, a ice cream and a cotton has some meaning I will talk about later, but usually we don't. These are uncountable nouns. If you say the cotton, we will wonder, which cotton are you talking about? Or the ice cream. Maybe there's a special ice cream shop you go to. I don't know. But usually nothing, no article, for simple English. It is also used with plural. Plural means more than one. Okay? Means S. Okay? Nouns that are unspecific. Okay? So, for example, I love cats. So you don't say I love a cats. You just say I love cats. I have played many concerts all over the world. Okay? Concerts. You don't need a or the or an. Finally, use with names. Use with names. Hi, I'm Tommy. Not a Tommy, not the Tommy. But the Tommy I'll talk about later. I'm going to Yodobashi Camera today. It's a name, Yodobashi Camera, so we don't need a or something like that. Those are the simple rules, okay? Now let's talk about the more complicated rules. Okay, now let's talk about more complicated rules. Okay, so here's the second sheet. It's more advanced rules. So for A and N, I want to say sometimes it's used with uncountable nouns, usually food. Let me give you this example. So for example, I'll have a water. I want an ice cream. Can I have a chocolate? Now, earlier I just said water, ice cream, those are uncountable, right? So why a? Why? These examples are short for something. For example, a cup of water, a scoop of a scoop of ice cream, a piece of chocolate. The short form can be used when the unit is known or not important. Okay? So, usually when you go to a bar, 2 beers, please. Of course, they're not going to just pour beer into your hands. They're going to put it in a glass. So when you say 2, of course, beer is uncountable. But if you ask for 2, they know 2 glasses of beer, right? Or ice cream. Ice cream is uncountable. But we make a ice cream scoop shape, right? Scoop of ice cream. 2 ice creams means 2 scoops. It's very short way of speaking. And can I have a chocolate? Chocolate has no shape. We make the shape of a square or something like that. A piece of chocolate, right? So when we say a chocolate or 2 chocolates, we mean just a piece or pieces. Okay? Now, sometimes used with names, but usually businesses. Okay? For example, I bought this shirt at a Tommy Hilfiger outlet. Now, if it's just Tommy Hilfiger, then I bought this shirt at Tommy Hilfiger. But since there's outlet, we use a. Okay? Or actually an outlet. But because T. So it says why. In the example, A is added to the name because the business is added to the name of the business because the noun outlet is added. An outlet, just like I said. We usually say this when the type of shop or business is unknown. For example, I went to a Woolies coffee shop today. So if everybody knows Woolies, just I went to Woolies. Or even you can say I went to a Woolies. You know, it's a particular Woolies shop. But if you say coffee shop, then you should add a. This is a big problem I see many students have. They'll say, I work in engineering. That's perfect. I work in engineering department. Once you add department, you're going to need an article. So I work in the engineering department. Why the? Because there's only one engineering department in your company. Maybe. So if you add what it is, you need an article. Okay? We also say this when the branch location is not important. I went to a Starbucks today. Of course, you can say I went to Starbucks today. Nope, that's the best way. I went to a Starbucks means just one Starbucks. It doesn't matter which one, but you know there are many Starbucks all over the world, so sometimes people will say that. Okay, depending on what they want to say. Okay, now the. The is used with superlative adjectives. He is the best. Superlative. Good, better, best. The best. Are you the tallest in Japan? Why? The noun is missing because it's understood. So, the best person, the tallest person. Okay? So when they are the best person, they are one of a kind. If they are the tallest, they are one of a kind. Use with date adjectives or sometimes ranking adjectives. I'll meet you on Sunday the 15th. The 15th date. You're not the first, you're the second. Ranking. Now sometimes with ranking we use I'm first, you're second. But often we use the first, the second. The first time something happened. The second time it happened, the second. Again, the noun is just missing. The 15th day of the month, which again is why it's unique. Used with places. Let's go to the beach. Do you want something from the market? The beach, the market. Why? Even though they don't specify which beach or market, the listener will imagine that it was the usual one or the closest. Imagine that someone asks you, where is the station? Wouldn't you tell them where the closest station is? So again, the station. Where's the station? Of course, the closest station to us. There are many stations around. So when we say the station, means the closest station. The beach, of course, there are many beaches, and the market. So why do we speak this way? I think I know why. A long, long time ago, many towns only had one of everything. one beach, one barbershop. Sorry, not one beach. One bank, one barbershop, one library, one city hall. Of course, there's still one city hall for each city. So we'll say, the barbershop, the library. Even though there could be many libraries around, I'm going to the library. We just say the naturally because in old times there was only one library in the town or one market. I'm going to the market. So you can think about it that in the past there was only one market, so we say the market. Or, like I said, it could be the usual or closest market. Finally, very strange is used with names, usually businesses that are special or specific. Specific or special. For example, I go to the Gios Yokohama Nishiguchi School. Are you the Tom Hanks? So it says, in the example, Yokohama makes the Gios school specific. Okay? So let me jump out. Let's talk about Starbucks again. I went to Starbucks. No A and the, because Starbucks is a name. You can say, I went to a Starbucks. You're kind of feeling that you want to say you went to a random Starbucks, any Starbucks. If you say, I went to the Starbucks, actually, that's kind of strange. People don't say that. But if you say, I went to the Tokyo Starbucks, or that's a bad example, the Tokyo Station Starbucks, that's a special one. And remember, the is for special things. So in this case, the Yokohama Nishiguchi School was one school in Yokohama. Okay, only one with this name. So it's the. The next part is kind of funny. In the other example, saying the or the usually emphasized before a name like Tom Hanks means you are talking about the specific actor, not some guy with the same name. Okay? So this is funny. This is complicated. Not complicated, just unusual. Imagine you meet a man named Tom Hanks, but he's not the actor. So you tell your friends, oh yeah, I was talking to Tom Hanks. Somebody would say, what? The Tom Hanks? Means the one we all know? So we speak like that sometimes. I know the versus the. The should be for non-vowels, and the is for vowels. But in this case, we use the when we want to emphasize the Tom Hanks, It's kind of fun. Anyway, finally, it says, note, be careful because sometimes the type of business is part of the name. For example, Disneyland. Disneyland is the name. So if land was not part of the name, it would be the Disneyland. The Disneyland. But it's not. Disneyland is one name. Okay? So you don't need to say the. Finally, possessives. Okay? Possessives. My, mine, your, yours, etc. If you use possessives before the noun, you don't need an article. Let's go to Charlie's house. Okay? Charlie is a name, so no the, and then Charlie's house is fine. That's my football. Of course you don't say that's my a football. I like your pants. Okay? Somebody has some funky pants. You like them? I like your pants. You don't need a and the. All right, that's it. Again, the rest of the pages are in Japanese if you want to study. But before we go on, I want to talk about something else. Something that's very fun and crazy. Okay? So we talked about articles. So there are plurals we talked about, which is S. Plurals, articles, and capitalization make a difference. Here it is in Japanese. So many students say, I like dog. I like dog. But if you say I like dog, It means inu no niku. Inu no niku. Why? Because when we say like is a general meaning. It's present tense, means always. So we usually say dogs. Okay? I like dogs because you like the idea of dogs. So I like dogs is inu ga suki desu. Okay? But if you say I like dog, that sounds like inu no niku. Why? Because dog itself is uncountable. Let me give you an example. So if you say I like cows, it means the animal. But if you say I like beef, beef is uncountable because it is a meat. Or I like pigs, okay. I like pork, pork is the meat. Now think about chicken. I like chickens means the animal. I like chicken means the meat. So there are many other animals that the meat is the same name as the animal. So dog is just like that. I like dogs means you like the animal. I like dog means the meat. Okay, so be careful. Also, if you say I like dog with a capital D, then it becomes, I'm thinking in Japanese, koyumeshi, a proper noun. So, dog-san, Mr. Dog. I like Mr. Dog. Okay? Or like dog no kaisha. Maybe dog is the name of the company. I like dog. I like dog products. So if it has a capital D, it is a name of something. It is a proper noun. I like a dog means you like one particular dog. Or you could say this particular dog. Okay? I like the dog. The dog. This dog. Okay? The dog. Or any of the other rules we said about the. And of course, possessives. I like my dog. Of course, the dog you have. So there are many ways to say you enjoy dogs. You can say, I like dogs, which means you like the idea of dogs. I like my dog, particular dog. And other than that, it gets strange. I like the dog, I like a dog is very specific. I like dog, if you're writing with a big D, means a name of somebody. Maybe somebody's name is dog. But if you say I like dog alone, means you like dog meat. Be careful unless you like dog meat. Same for cats. I like cats. I like cat. I like cat means I like cat meat. I like cats means I like the animal. Okay? Fantastic. I will see you next time. Take care.